Hello, everybody. I am Lisa. We've had a lot of new subscribers, and I just want to introduce myself and welcome to Yogi Hollow Farm. And today we are going to be talking about Homesteading 101, and we are going to talk about all the different ways that you can connect with other homesteaders. When we started this journey 1 year ago in 2020, we had no connections, and now we have a ton of them. So I think I've done really well in this area, and I wanted to share the tips and tricks that I have. So first, what I wanted to let you know is this is Homesteading 101, and it is a collaboration with Ormsby Farms, and there are going to be 11 other channels joining us. And I apologize, I've got my notes here. I want to make sure I get everything correct for you guys because I think this is really, really important. So 11 other channels are going to be joining us to do various homesteading videos and content to help all the new homesteaders out. So I think that's really awesome. So the collaboration will involve a playlist, and the playlist will be in our description box below. And the reason why we're doing a playlist is that a person can click on that link for the playlist and seamlessly just go from video to video to video and get all of the information that they need in a very easy manner. So I'm filming this inside today because it is really cold and windy, and I didn't want to have wind noise take away from the filming. So I decided to do it inside. And so, of course, I'm going to highly recommend that you like these videos and obviously subscribe to all of the channels that are involved because they have a lot of good information, and that's why Casey over at Ormsby Farms made sure that he picked 11 really cool channels to participate in this so we can give you some good information. So, how to connect with other homesteaders. Number one, social media. YouTube has been a wealth of information as well as a means to connect with other homesteaders. It's also been a wealth of a learning experience. What I mean by that is you watch videos, you see how people do it. Sometimes you agree, sometimes you disagree, and that's okay. But you are able to watch all of this information, do your research, and decide how you want to do it. So I think it's really good because you can pull from a lot of different sources, and at the same time, the homesteading community really is a tight-knit community, and I can't tell you how many times I've reached out to people on YouTube and gotten some feedback on how to deal with an issue. For example, Bland's Promised Land Ranch had helped me with some pig issues and pig worming protocols, so that way we were doing the right thing for our animals. Bramble Hill Homestead is another homestead that was really helpful at helping us deal with animal issues, chickens and ducks and so on. Daz at My Aussie Garden and Kitchen has helped me with gardening as well as Country Mama Musings. And again, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, I could name a million people that have helped us along our journey. So I think it's really important to become involved in the homesteading community. And even if you're not a channel and you're watching videos, everybody has an email posted or mail or some means of ways to contact them. And you have to get creative. And I think that, you know, if you want the answers, you're going to be able to find them and you're going to connect to like-minded people. So YouTube is one way. Another way on social media would be Facebook. Facebook has a lot of Facebook groups, and a lot of them are specific to homesteading. So I think that's another avenue. I have not really used that way too much, but I do want to throw that out there. I know that we have a Chickens 101 Facebook group, so I wanted to throw that option out there. Another way is Instagram. Instagram and Facebook both have a direct messaging feature, so you're able to message people. I can tell you that I've messaged YouTubers who are pretty famous, and they have responded to me very quickly to let me know a response to my question. So I think that's really important too. So the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever online platforms or social media you can use those to your advantage, because that's how you connect with other people. You start to follow each other, you develop a relationship, even though it's online, but you're able to get information. Like I said, I could name a ton of people who really helped me out. Sometimes I post a picture and somebody says, you could do it this way, and I didn't know that, so it's really beneficial. Number 2, ask local people, ask local feed store owners, go to local events. Those are all great ways to connect with other homesteaders. And so, for example, one of the ways that we connected was when we chose our feed store, which was actually about an hour from us. So it's locally owned, small family owned store. He has been a wealth of information to help me with what I'm doing with my animals. So we've become quite friendly. We email back and forth whenever I have a feed order. If I have a question, I just call him and he answers it for me. Every time I pick up feed, he answers questions for me. Really great way to connect is, start to build a relationship with the feed store owners and any other local businesses that you do business for with your homestead. Asking local people besides feed stores is another option. So what I mean by that is Ryan will ask people at work, because they've lived here their whole lives, and what he's done is, who sells hay, who sells straw, who has the best price on this, who sells piglets, all that kind of thing. Wealth of information at your fingertips. The other thing is local events. If there's any kind of agricultural event, like a county fair, anything like that, go to the animal section and chat up the people who have animals and see if they're local to your area. And even if they're not, see if there's a way that you can connect with them. And I'm going to give some examples later on. One of the things that I did is I was looking on Craigslist for feeder pigs before we had Maggie and Winston. We were looking on Craigslist, and I was also looking for kuni pigs, which are really hard to find around here at the time we were looking, which was last year. So one of the things that I did was I contacted somebody on Craigslist. The woman was about an hour from us as well. She told me that the piglets were all sold, but she said, feel free to keep my number and contact me anytime. I contacted her later on to see if she had a litter, and she explained to me that she was having a change of plan in her life, I'll put it that way, and no longer had her pigs, had sold them all to somebody else. She asked if it was all right if she gave my phone number to that other person who's also local, and that person, and I'm going to keep her nameless, but that person, not even knowing who we were, reached out, texted me right away and said, hey, so-and-so told me you were looking to get to know kuni pigs better. I want to invite you on up. She invited us to her home graciously without even knowing us. We went to her home a year ago in November, and she let us spend time with the kuni pigs. She spent so much time explaining things she loves about the breed, things that she doesn't. I got flies here. This is what happens when you have pigs. She spent so much time with us, and she really educated us, gave us a wealth of resources for kuni pigs. And P.S., fast forward, we have kept in touch since that time. We've become friends, and she just had her first litter, and guess what? That's where Grant came from. And that's also where Dwight came from, because she had a straight run of chicks, and she ended up with so many roos that's how we got Dwight. So again, making those connections. I can reach out to her anytime. She reaches out to me, and we're able to have conversations. She also has a mentor from out of state who helps her with kuni pigs. And she just sent me an Iowa kuni exposition or event that I'm going to actually get connected to online. So again, really great ways to do that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is we had a Christmas tree last year. It was a live Christmas tree, and when we went to get rid of it, we didn't want to just throw it out. I wanted to find a way to recycle it. I found a local goat farm, and they raise meat goats. Well, I contacted them from their website and said, I live locally. Can I please bring you my Christmas tree for your goats so I can repurpose it and recycle it? They said, absolutely. We brought it over there. So now we're familiar with them, and they gave us a ton of information on meat goats. So if we start that, we've got a connection already. And lastly, the other thing that I encourage you to do, because I do firmly believe in social media as well as local, because I find that you'll get local information, which is what you need because it's specific to your area. One of the other things is when we were first looking for Kune pigs, the girl that invited us to her home did not have any piglets yet. She had not bred before. So again, I found out about somebody on Craigslist in South Dakota. It took a lot of researching, but we obtained Sherman, Eleanor, and Fiona from a place across the state of South Dakota, and we also stay connected. And the good thing about that is they have a love of Kune pigs like we do. So between my two resources across South Dakota and the other one closer, I have a support system when it comes to Kune pigs, especially if you remember, I can't find a vet for pigs. And apparently it's a big thing here in South Dakota, or at least on our side of the state, we can't find a vet for pigs. So we are left to doctor them ourselves because that's the only thing we can do. So that wraps up connecting to other homesteaders. And I can't reinforce enough: YouTube, social media, Instagram, Facebook groups, and also local events, local people, feed stores, and sometimes Craigslist. I mean, it worked out for me, but I'm very cautious. But you have to be careful. So please remember to be careful. So what I would like to do is I would like to encourage you to use hashtag homesteading101 and share your videos on social media to help others who are wanting to start a farm or a homestead. So that way they've got a leg up and they learn from the 11 channels and Ormsby Farms that are presenting this information. And I want to give a special shout out to Casey at Ormsby Farms for doing this amazing collaboration, and we feel honored to be a part of it with the other channels that are joining us. So again, thank you everybody for taking the time to listen. I know it's a little bit of a different video, but I felt the information was very important. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Take care of one another, and happy homesteading.